Guys, welcome back to Drift Virals. Today we're going to DIY the harmonic balancer, which is a crankshaft, which is located underneath by this side behind the tire of the wheel well of the Honda CRV, which can go with pretty much any Honda with a K24 engine, and even some of the newer ones. So the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna remove this. This just comes up, or obviously there's a clip back here. You just push this back, pull it up. You can use a screwdriver for that. Next thing is you're gonna use a 14 to move the serpentine belt, to remove the serpentine. And then afterward, you're gonna remove the tire. So like I said, first thing, you're gonna remove this, and we're gonna try to put this to the side. Be careful not to bend these too much. All right, I'm gonna get some gloves on and we'll start. Okay, I use a little bungee to hold this in place. I don't wanna bend this too much, but you have to take off these two. These are 210s, so it give you a little clearer distance to hit up this this bolt here was like a 14 under tensioner, so these are 210s, so be careful not to lose these. Just unscrew these two. They're right here. This one and this one. Careful not to lose them. They're not as long as most people think, and they're not even as tight as most people think, so just 210s. As I said in the past, it's usually good to set this up already before you put this in, so you get the leverage to put it back. Sometimes it's hard to put it together while it's in there because it's not long enough. But I'm not using a 14, I'm gonna use a 9 16 so that I could get better leverage for this. So put it on the screw right here. You guys can see on this one over here. This one is the tensioner. I don't know if it gets some light down there. There you go, right there. Put in the tensioner, pull it back towards you this way, and then this will loosen up the belt. You take the belt off the power steering pump. All right, now that the belt is off, what I would do is jack up the front tire with a jack or anything that you could jack with the car. You could use any kind of lift. Jack it up, take off the tire, and then just and then there's two little clips to give you access to the two clips. So jack up the tire, be safe, make sure you put a jack stand underneath. And if you want to also put the tire underneath the car, I'll show you that in a bit. As you can see, I have the jack stand, so put in the car, and I also have the jack itself also supporting the car. In the case of anything, at least they fall on the tire instead of going straight to the ground. So now what we're gonna do is unclip this, and this should reveal what we're looking for here, which is the harmonic balancer, which is the crankshaft here. So you could use, sometimes these are old enough, you can just pull them out, but it's good to try to preserve them. Use like a flathead to pull this part out here, pull that out, and then you pull the rest of it off. All right, this is the harmonic balancer here. To just put this down. This is supposed to be a 19th to take this off. This is where I'm getting my squeak coming from. It took me a long time to figure out where this squeak was coming from, but I don't know if you could see here, there's a little bit of worn out inside here. There's supposed to be like a rubber piece. So what I'm gonna do is, this is a 19th, and I have a tool for this that supposed to help take this off. It shouldn't be a hard task. And it usually is, but it shouldn't be a hard task because the tool is supposed to help me take this off. Obviously, you take the belt off of this. It'll be very wise to do that. Tuck the belt out to the side so you don't get in the way of anything. All right. All right, so this is a 19 millimeter at the crank, and this is like a regular 19 long. And as you can see, it's very thin. So a lot of times with these hard, jobs, the power could get lost. It's not really concentrated because based on the tightness or the torque spec of the bolt. So usually this works really well. But with this here, this is supposed to absorb and send full power or knocking power or torque power straight to that. So this should help take this off a lot quicker than this. So I hope this works really quickly, and we're gonna go from there. As you can see, it's a 19 that fits in this in the Honda. And yeah, let's give it a shot and see. All right, so I'm gonna try this with one hand, holding the camera with one hand, and break this loose with the other. Hopefully this works. Yep, took it right out. Wow, very impressive. Very impressive, took it right out. All right, so this, it works really well. This was on full blast. I DeWalt, let me see. And DeWalt DF899, took it right out. And yeah, we'll go from there, take this off. That's it. And look at how huge this washer is. Washer is huge. This thing is solid. And this should come off. Now you see this little clip here, don't lose this. This is a little key to help this stay in place so it doesn't rotate inside here. So let's make its way out. It's coming out. Try to hold on to that key, there we go. Okay. Now I have this and I have the key right there with it. Now I'm looking at this. Now, I don't know if it's to say it's not leaking. It looks really dry. Okay, it looks dry. I don't really see like a leak coming. So I don't know if I don't think I'm gonna change this. I think it's gonna leave this alone. Because if you look at it, it looks really, I would say, dry. There is some, it looks like an old oil that was here, but I'm gonna leave it because we don't see any oil on the edges here, nothing. I don't know if you guys can see. I'm sorry about that with the, hold on, there we go, with the light. There is something, as you can see, like an oil on the bottom, but it looks old, or it looks like it's supposed to be there, but there's no oil on the outside edge of this. So I'm gonna leave that. And I'll probably clean the outside where the dirts are on the outside edges and leave it there. Just to let you guys know, this is, I don't know if you can see that. There's like no oil. I passed this on the inside and there's no oil. I just want to see if there was oil just leaking from here. Just seeing, it's a little something, but nothing to be crazy about, I don't think. You know, and you don't see anything on the outside. There's supposed to be oil on the inside though. That's what the spring is inside here on the seal. I'm just testing to see, just pushing on it just a little bit on the inside to see if any oil will come out, see if I would need to change it, but I don't want to change nothing that's, see, this is nothing. This is like, this is inside. This is not even on it. Now I wipe that away. If I go on this, like on the outside of it, just drag it, it's dry completely. I'm not too sure because I don't want to come back here again. There's a little bit of oil right there. I'm gonna wipe it down. Wait like a few minutes, see if I see anything come out of there. Now I'm just comparing the parts right now. This is the one from the car. This is the new one. As you can see, these has 3 holes in it. This has 5. I think these are to balance them and also the weight. And They're almost exactly the same, but not exactly the same. As you can see here, this here is much smaller than this. Also, if you look at here, if I give you a close up, you see how the rubber, this is rubber, this is metal, this is rubber, this is metal, and this is all metal. You hit this area, it's all rubber. You see how the cracks are in there? And I believe that because of the cracks, based on some things I've also read online, is as this is turning, this may look like it's like really solid, but this is pulling against this rubber here. And this rubber starts to fail over time, and that's where you hear the squeaking. And until this rubber is like warmed up, and the harmonic balancer is all warmed up, then it will stop. But over time, this here will start to separate. So the squeak kind of gives you that there's something wrong with it. But most people, they wait, they don't really change it because the noise goes away. But it starts to separate here. Once it separates, it can give you way more problems in that. Like, the belt could just come off somewhere because of the tension that's being put on this, and plus the rotation of the engine. So I'm really doing this because I did hear a squeak. It would go away as you start to drive like about a block or two, and people say since it goes away, leave it alone, it's not a big thing. Some mechanics would tell me, but when I look into it, other people had this part just separate, and they either lose the engine or they get stuck. These could go around 150, 160, 140, all depends on the use of the vehicle. Some people even 120, because you don't know, if people have spilled oil on it, has spilled coolant on it, or over time they don't have the cover, this cover, water constantly is splashing on it with salt, and this is going to eat away at this, especially if you're up in the north. It's going to eat away at this. It'll make it go a lot earlier. But this one, I bought this from A1 Prime Auto on Amazon, and this one has a rubber here also. I don't know if you see, this is the metal, this is the rubber. And I would never think this rubber was on this, just looking at it from this side, right? This is the rubber right here. Okay, and I think the rubber helps keep, you can't see it on this side because over here, but over here, this is rubber. And you could see the cracks starting to form in it. This is just wetness. I just put something on it to help the rubber to rejuvenate a little bit, and it did work for a little while, but I wouldn't recommend it because it just comes back within a week, which means something's really wrong with it. But you can see, like, over time, see the weathering of it compared to how it should look over here, smooth. So we're gonna insert this one inside, and don't forget the key that goes in here. There's a key that fits in there, and you need that key. All right. Now, some people have complained that this key sometimes doesn't fit on the newer ones. What you can do is just sand this down a little bit to make it fit, but make sure it fits snug. Don't sand down too much that it's not snug, because this will skip timing, and that will be a big issue, because it'll be hard to find out that this is the reason why you're skipping timing. Okay. All right. So this should go on snug. Right, you see where the slit is? You gotta line up the two slits so that you could put in the key in there. So let's do this here. And also, I decided to leave this because I put a towel on the inside, and there is like nothing. It's not dirt. I think there's old oil that might have spilled on there, but it's good. We're good. All right, I I put a tiny bit of oil on the inside of here so that this could slide in. And then now we're gonna take the key. And as you can see, it's not a perfectly square key. It's not perfectly squared, so it fits a long way in. It's a little difficult one-handed, sorry. Make sure that this, there we go. Oops. All right, we'll try again. This here moved out of place. Let's line that up and try again. And then now this should slide. I may need more one hand. All right, I'm gonna do this two hands. All right, so I slid this, and now this should slid in, and this should also sit back flush like this. This goes back as far back as it can go. All right, I should have probably cleaned this area a little bit. You know what? I think, should I? I think it should be fine. But I'm thinking about cleaning the back, taking this back out and cleaning this area out. I might just do that. All right, so now that you place everything back, make sure that you have this on, because this will just keep spinning and you're gonna have issues. All right, so now I had also got this. This fits in here. Sometimes these things, they get a little, like, they don't fit exactly as it should, but you can knock them in a little bit and then to pull them back out. And as you can see now, it's locked in. It's just there to hold this from spinning. You put I think it's a 3/4 in here, and then you're going to spin this one close, which is this nut. It's gonna go in the middle. The 19 is gonna go in the middle. First, you can put this in first. All right, let's take this out. Let's put this in by hand, make sure that this is going in smooth, right? Right, it's smooth going in. There is no, no type of friction. We're not de-threading this thing. All right, and there we go. And now we place this on top just to hold this in place. And I'm gonna need my, I believe it's 1/2 inch. And then I'm going to use the 19, this regular 19, to tighten this up. But with this, I'm not too sure, because this might over torque it, because this could hold just so much power, this might over torque it. So I'm gonna see, I have an inch-pound torque wrench. My foot-pound is kind of messed up right now. And this is supposed to be torqued down to 36 foot-pound. And some people say 36 plus another 45. I don't know. I would just go with the 36, unless you read somewhere online for your application, it's more. And I believe it's 432 or 435 inch pounds. So I'm gonna go look that up and then I'll get back to you guys. All right, so I'm using my special tool, and I believe this should hit over here as I go around this. This is supposed to be 36 foot-pounds. So first you tighten this, and then afterwards I'm gonna use my torque wrench. I gotta set it to inch-pound, but it's 432. Yep, it's 432 on here. I'll set that later. And then I am going to torque this 36, and I'm gonna mark it. And then once we mark it, we're gonna mark it that we're gonna turn it 90 degrees. I'm gonna show you that. So let's say like this right here is where it's at. So this is 260. This would be 180s, and half of that over here would be 90. So we turn it until we get from here and get it to here. So I'm gonna mark that a little bit later, or if I don't have a marker, I'll see what I'll do. All right, so now obviously I can't do this with one hand, and I don't have a camera stand right here. So I'm just gonna, do it and then I'll demonstrate again. I don't know if you guys could see this mark. I have to try to get this and turn it 90 degrees to here because 360 would be here, 180 and half of 360 would be here, a full circle, 180, and then a quarter of this would be 90. So if I turn it just a quarter, because I'll be able to see this, the back washer, for when I put in the socket. I'm gonna use the big socket that takes it off to put this on to turn it to here. I did use the torque wrench, but it was an inch-pound, which was 432. I set it and it clicked. It won't go any farther than this. So now I'm gonna turn it to 90 degrees, and it's usually really tough. Some people don't go get it to all the way to 90 because it's a hard. They usually get it about here, which is 45. But either way, I think it should be fine because once it's tight, when it starts to spin, it's gonna tighten up, I think. So, I mean, when you turn on the car, it should tighten up. All right, so this is the closest I could get it. I don't know if you see the paint mark, and the other one's down here. I tried to turn it with a wrench. That didn't work because it was just too tight. And I tried, they say don't do it with a gun, but I did, but I did it really light, and even with the gun, it's like here. So I don't wanna, I gotta be smart and not overdo this, because if this is too tight on that harmonic balancer, that pipe is gonna crack it. So I think this is good enough. I went a little bit more than the 36. So I think this should be fine. It will tighten up as we go. Plus with the pressure of the belt on it, it will tighten up a little bit more. And we'll leave it at that. Let's be smart, man. Now the thing is, just put the belt back on. I'll probably put a picture of how the belt's supposed to look. But if you've done this before, obviously this is the water pump. Goes here, goes straight to the AC compressor. Comes underneath here. It might be stuck on top. But I'm gonna loosen it up on top. See, because we're pretty much almost done with this. Ah, oh, here we go. We need to take this off and give us some slack. Okay. All right, put this on here. There you go. And this is gonna go up behind the tensioner, and make sure this is around behind the tensioner over here. Get it up in here a little bit. And then now what you're gonna do is make sure it's also around here, the alternator. What you're gonna do is you're gonna pull this back, right? And then sit this on top of the steering pump, all right? So, all right, make sure the belt is on properly. It's routed, all right? Make sure it's behind the tensioner correctly. Routes up, goes down. Alternator goes down and around over here, which is the power steering pump. Goes straight to the AC compressor down and around here, and make sure it's sitting on the grooves correctly, because sometimes with this, when it tightens, it doesn't sit on the groove. You may have to redo it, but make sure it's sitting on the grooves correctly. And that's it. From there, I'm gonna put this back on. Okay, we're gonna set this. Before I put the tire back, I'm gonna start the car, make sure everything is running good. But we wanna make sure we put this back on because this over here slightly pinched, and we don't want this to hit this. This happened to me one time, and this was cut, and I had to replace all of this. So we're going to put this back on. These were the 10 millimeters with the bracket sitting right here. Put this back on, set this back on, and then start the car, and then give it a little gas to see if we hear anything. And right now, everything sounds good. Good. Wow. that sounds really smooth. That definitely sounds so much smoother. Oh my goodness. It's spinning. I'm just hoping that I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit and I'm gonna give it some gas. Because usually when I would give it some gas, that's when it would make the noise. So I'm hoping that that's what happened, but I think this is a success. And if anything else, I'll come back to you guys, okay? Obviously you put back the tire, you lower the car, and then that's it. Obviously I just turned it off, but anyway, there is no, I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear any squeaks or anything like that, so I'm guessing this is a finish. Guys, please like, share, and subscribe. Share the video, if anything. Leave anything in the comment, and I will get back to you, all right? Drift Virals are out. God bless you guys. Be safe out there.